What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to show you how to add 200 horse to your 7.3 Powerstroke. You got this nice Excursion here with a 7.3 in it. It's already got a GARRET GT38 turbo on it, but we're going to take care of the rest. So follow along and we'll show you how it's done. Alright, so we got our base run done for the dyno to find out where we're starting at. We got our 7.3 in the shop here, so I'll show you the parts we're putting on it. So here we have industrial injections, R2 injectors, those are a race 2. Sinister diesel, regulated return set, or kit. DIESELSITE adrenaline high pressure oil pump. We have a sump with a top feed bulkhead on it, and the tube will go down into the bottom. And we have a FASS 140 gallon per hour for it. Alright, so we got her started coming apart. Got our AC compressor off. Took the batteries out just for a little more room. Charge pipes are off. Accessory belt, cert belt is off. Tensioner's off. Intake is off. Just give some more room to get the valve covers out. So the valve covers have to come off to get out the injectors, obviously. And then the fuel filter assembly and all that has to get out so we can get down in there to the high pressure pump. We also noticed on here, look back in there, this thing has some aftermarket up pipes on it as well. They look like a nice stainless set with an expansion bellow. It's also supposed to have a larger turbocharger on it. So yeah, let's keep going. Get the valve covers off and get everything out of the valley so we can start putting the injectors and everything back in. All right, so we got our adrenaline pump down in here all mounted up. So to take this out, there's some bolts on the back here that you have to remove. And then if you come around up front, there's also a cover here with the main bolt on it. And then it just pops out. Put your new gasket in, bolt her back up, and away you go. We've also got this side injectors out, and then working on the passenger side injectors. Working on getting those out. So, little tip on pulling the 7.3 injectors. Now, the high pressure oil system and everything is internal in the heads on these. Not like the 6 liter where it's the rail up top. So when you're pulling injectors, all your head liquid is going to run down into the cylinders. So if you pull the back cylinder first, most of it will run into that cylinder, which will pull it all in there. So you really only have to do one cylinder evacuation of all the fluids instead of having to do all of them. So yeah, just a little tip on clearing the fluids out a lot quicker if you just do the one cylinder instead of all 8. Alright, I fell behind a little bit on the filming on this thing. So we got our regulator return mount, or regulator return regulator mounted up on the alternator bracket that comes with it. The filter housing is there, so you get rid of your stock fuel bowl. Comes with these stainless lines. This one's not tightened up yet, obviously, but comes with these stainless braided lines that go down to the factory lines. They come with quick connects on them. So this one is your in, this one is your out, this one is your out. So this one comes in from the factory line, this one goes to the factory return, and then this one goes to the head. And And you see another braided line there. We actually had to pull the turbo out to get that line in at the back. And then this other line to the back of this head. It was just a lot simpler to pull the turbo out to do them. So yeah, this is all in. The adrenaline pump's in. The injectors are in. Just tidying up. We're just tidying up all this lines and everything. Put the charge pipes back in. And then we gotta put the FASS on and then get on the dyno and get it all set up. All right, so we got our FASS in. On stuff like this, like excursions, the FASSes aren't really made for mounting on them. So you gotta kinda just mount it where you can and make up the bracket and modify it. But yeah, but this one here, we tucked up in underneath the frame. Got the lines all ran up to where the factory pump was. Spliced in the electrical connector for the factory pump, so it just keys on when it normally should. Now we were going to use a bottom sump, but as you can see, there's this great big metal plate that holds this tank up. So we just used the top sump, and the feed line and return line are kind of shoehorned in around there. So that's done. All right guys, so we got the last piece of our puzzle for this excursion build, and that is a Power Hungry Performance HYDRA tuner from Full Force Diesel. We're now a supplier for Full Force Diesel stuff, so if you're looking for anything, give us a shout and we can hook you up. So first things first, to install this, we're gonna have to take the bully dog off of the truck right now. It has a bully dog tuner on it, but with the injectors and stuff we installed, we wanted some more custom tuning, so things will just run better. It'll have smoother power, not so smoky, all that fun stuff. So that's why we went with the HYDRA. It is going to have 6 tunes on it, and they are specific tunes for the injectors, the high pressure pump, everything that is on the truck. Let's get the bully dog uninstalled and let's start installing the HYDRA. All right, so we have everything opened up here. So it comes with the display, a sweet sticker, a Scotch-Brite to clean off the additional residue from the ECM. It comes with a brush, a brass brush. Here is the chip itself that goes onto the ECM. Comes with your USB cable. Also comes with a communication cable for the chip and the monitor. And we went ahead and got the J3 port prep pen, just so we can make sure we have everything all cleaned off. Basically, it's just like acetone or nail polish remover to eat the silicone on the J3 port. Also comes with install instructions right here. So let's get over to the vehicle and we can start getting the ECM out and everything to get the chip installed. All right guys, so for pulling the ECM, you want to go down under your brake booster to this connector in the firewall. It is a 10mm bolt that will not pop out of the connector, so you want to loosen that off until it's free, and then pull the connector out of the ECM. Now the ECM is inside the cabin. So you can see that slot, or that hole down in there, that's where the connector for the ECM comes out. Now if we go inside, right here is where it sits. So there are two 7mm bolts that hold it in. One's right here, the other one is there, and then to get it out, you pull it, like kind of pull it toward the center of the vehicle, pull it back, and then it'll drop down in between here. Once it's out, this is what you're left with. So here we have our ECM code. This one's an NQW2. It's also on the back right here. Now it'll just pull out of here, like so. And to prep it for install, we're going to take these bolts out along the side. There's 6 of them. Here are the brains of the ECM. This plug here needs to come out because what we're looking for is this here. This is the J3 port. You know, it has a, actually this one has already been cleaned. Yeah, this ECM's already had a chip installed here. Usually there is a film of silicone. You can kind of see it shining right here on the case. There's usually a film of silicone that you have to take off of this part of the port, but this one's already been done. So what we're gonna do is just take the prep pen and clean up all the dust and stuff that's on there. But if it wasn't cleaned off, what you do is you take the wire brush that comes with it, take the wooden end and scrape off the silicone as best you can, and then just lightly go over the pins there. Once you've done that, you take your prep pen, kind of pump the end so you can get fluid out of it. As you can see there, my hand's wet, there's fluid coming out. Then go over it with that, and then lightly take the Scotch-Brite that came with it and kind of scrub over it just a little bit, just very lightly. You don't want to go too deep, or else your tuner will make a bad connection. Like in here, somebody went a little too far because you can see the copper coming through. You don't want to take the tinning off of the pins, just take the silicone off. So we're just going to clean this up in here quick. So there's that. That part's all done. So after you got that, after you have the ribbon cable plugged in, you might as well plug in the USB cable as well. If you ever want to change tunes, then that is already installed into the chip. Just clicks in like this. Then you want to bring everything around, insert it. Insert it into the top, in through the top here. Make sure everything's lined up. Push it in. Make sure you have good firm contact with everything. And then there you go, you have it, you got it installed. Now you can put this piece back on here, put the other cover back on, and put it all back together. You're gonna take your cables, run them through here. You see the chip sticks out here. So you can see we're gonna have to trim this piece here so the chip will stick out further. And there we go. We got it trimmed off here, but we still have the hold down. And yeah, it's ready to go back in the vehicle. There, ECM is mounted back in with the cables coming out the back and the chip. And the ribbon cable, you kind of run up through and come out wherever you want to mount the display. Now the display comes with some Velcro, so I think I'm gonna put this one right about here, but I will make a little notch in here to run the ribbon cable through, so it's not looking like crap just coming out of there. All right guys, so after we got the ECM back in place, just put your connector back in. Make sure that is threaded in good and tight, but not too tight because you can pull the threads out. All right guys, there we go. We got her mounted up. Pretty clean install. The slot in the bottom's not too shabby. And yeah, everything is hooked up and working. fired up, ready for a test drive.
Now the display is pretty straightforward. There's an up button for your tunes, down button for your tunes. So this one has 6. So we have position 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and NS is no start. So right now, the truck shouldn't start. Nope.
Put it back to a different tune, fires right up. Alright guys, let's see what we got.
Here we go. We have 420 horse, 848 foot-pounds of torque.
So there we go, everybody. We just got her back from off the dyno. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and also you can follow us on Rumble. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.